Work. Tender Care Learning Centers is the child care provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, official health plan of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Brand new at DQ, the Crunching Cookie Cone Dip is the new cookie and cream flavored cone. And the new DQ Orange Cream Shake blends orange cream and DQ soft serve, perfect for cooling down on a hot day. DQ is the official ice cream of the Penguins.
Now it's time for the first period recap, brought to you by Giant Eagle. Now back to the Penguins Radio Network.
And welcome into our first intermission report, where the Capitals and Penguins are tied at 1 after one period of play here at PPG Paints Arena for the final time this season. Can't even believe it. I'm stumbling my words. I'm so busted up over it. This long ride is coming to an end, but we have 2 periods of hockey left. But through that first period of hockey, it's Brian Metzer with you, of course. It was pretty action-packed, at least on the Penguins side. They outshot the Capitals 13-5, held the Capitals without a shot from the 12:54 mark all the way up till the 19:24 mark, just giving them 5 shots in the game. They had 4 early, one of which was a goal. Connor McMichael scoring his 26th of the season from Tom Wilson at the 4:08 mark of the period. Wilson put the shot on Alex Nedeljkovic. He kicked it into an area where McMichael was able to put it in behind him for that 1-0 lead. Penguins would answer very shortly thereafter when Brian Rust would score his 30th of the season from Ville Koivunen and Matt Grzelcyk. Nice little play by all of those guys as Grzelcyk put a shot towards the goal. Koivunen redirected. You saw Clay Stevenson make a pretty impressive stop on it, but he was out of position then as Brian Rust threw it in for his milestone marker of 30 goals on the year. And from there, the Penguins had a number of really quality scoring opportunities, some odd man rushes. We saw Sidney Crosby, have a great look early in the period where a save was made by Stevenson. Evgeny Malkin had a great look after the Penguins were cycling and rotating all around the zone. He robbed him with a big save, and Koivunen hit what looked to be a post, maybe off of Stevenson, as he was set up by Sidney Crosby on an odd man rush in, and that could have been Sid's 90th point, so we'll see if they can't get that for him before it's all said and done. But pretty entertaining period of hockey, as well as some recognition for the great Alex Ovechkin, setting his goal mark. Everyone gave him some adulation. When we come back, we'll look at some of the individual stats in this one and a whole lot more. You'll hear it next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
This is the S&T Bank First Period Instant Radio Replay.
Brought to you by S&T Bank, proud presenting sponsor of the Penguins Radio Network.
Ryan Rust picks it up at the half wall. His pass got broken up by Nick Dowd. Crosby races after it. Grzelcyk one-timer, redirected, won't go. They score! And a new career high for Brian Rust. His first 30-goal season of his career. And the Penguins tie things up in this first.
As the largest and most experienced program in the region, UPMC Sports Medicine knows that injuries can happen to anyone, whether you're a weekend athlete, a rising star, or even a seasoned pro. That's why we offer a complete range of services and experts to help treat and prevent sports-related injuries to get you back in the game. To make an appointment, visit upmcsportsmedicine.com. The UPMC is the official healthcare provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Black and gold are the colors that not only honor our city, but our sports. Together, we're proud sponsors of the early mornings, dedication, breakaway goals, excitement, losing your voice, and passion. We are black and gold. We are Ford, the official car, truck, and SUV of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend bets against your team, end the friendship. Or choose chill because you're drinking Coors Light with your buddy. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette delivers the news that matters to you. We deliver coast to coast with award-winning coverage of world events. We deliver in the zone with the latest local news in your community. We deliver whether you're home or away with on-the-fly digital access. And of course, we deliver on the ice with hard-hitting hockey coverage and in-depth news from around the league. For Pittsburgh and the greatest hockey fans around, nobody delivers like the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette.
The Pittsburgh Penguins and Mitsubishi Electric have teamed up to transform the game day experience with the new state-of-the-art Diamond Vision video display system. See this display in action and find out why they are known as the makers of amazing by visiting MitsubishiElectric.com today.
At GetGo, quality is at the core of every menu item. Our 3 expert chefs fine-tune every detail, from how classic and unexpected flavors complement each other to the order each fresh ingredient is added, so that every sub, burger, salad, wrap, drink, and app is crafted for craveability. And we're always searching for bold new recipes and ways to improve your favorites. Order amazing at GetGo Cafe and Market today. Better, believe it. This is the First Intermission Report, brought to you by your neighborhood Ford store. Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs are the official vehicles of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now, back to the Penguins Radio Network.
And welcome back into our First Intermission Report, where the Penguins and Caps are all tied up at 1 after 1 period of play here in Pittsburgh. Brian Metzer back here with you for the final time this season, unless you count Penguins Live Weekly, which you can hear Stag and I bring it to you on Saturday morning on our flagship here in town. But for tonight, a couple more periods of action, another intermission report, and a post-game show. Let's look at the stats from that first period of play. And the Penguins, as I mentioned in the recap, 13 shots on goal for them and 12 shots wide and or blocked. So pretty effective stuff, 25 attempts in the frame. The only Penguin, though, or 2 Penguins that registered more than 1 shot on goal, Connor Timmins put 2, and Ryan Shea. So the defenseman getting definitely activated a little bit. And you want to talk about active defensemen. Erik Karlsson was more active in the offensive zone than he has been in quite a while. And he was looping and, kind of going all around the horn in the offensive zone, dancing around the net, looking for scoring opportunities. He was very much involved on the play that saw Evgeny Malkin get robbed by Stevenson that I mentioned during our recap. They were cycling and kind of crisscrossing and just putting some misdirection towards the Capitals. I wish we had seen a little bit more of that throughout the season. However, when you look at what he was able to produce off of all of that, just 1 shot attempt that was blocked, and no stats other than the +1 because he was on the ice for the goal. Face-off work, Penguins were on the wrong side of it, went 6-9 in the face-off dot, 40% there. Sid just 2-4 through 1 period of play. I think he'll get that moving as he moves through the rest of the night. Evgeny Malkin, 3-1 for 75% in the face-off circle. He had 1 shot on goal, the one in which I mentioned that he saw a big save from Stevenson when he tried to get that puck past him in that first period of play. Ponomarev, who is getting his another chance here in Pittsburgh, went 1-1 in the face-off dot, and Koppinen went 0-3 in terms of his face-off work. When we look at the Capitals side, mentioned that they had just 5 shots on goal. 2 of them came from Tom Wilson, who also got an assist on that goal from Connor McMichael. They had 8 other shots that were wide and or blocked, so not a very busy one for them. I anticipate that changing a little bit as we move through the rest of the night. 60% in the face-off circle, and that was led by Dylan Strome, their top center. He went 5-0 on the draws. When we come back, we will take a look around the league, scoreboard, news, notes, and a little more. You'll hear it next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
FNB is the official retail and digital bank of the Pittsburgh Penguins. So what does that mean? Well, it means you can expect great checking, obviously, and top caliber performance at home and on the road with the best-in-class FNB Direct mobile banking app. It means hard work and a winning attitude, day in, day out. And it means we're always looking for a chance to assist on your goals. Let's get started. FNB, member FDIC.
They say that the best beer you'll ever taste is the one you had the best time while drinking. The secret to the unmatched satisfaction of Icy Light, victory is sweetest hard-earned. And here, we taste it a lot. Icy Light. A surprisingly easy call.
Running your business is tough. Protecting your assets should not be. When it comes to insurance, employee benefits, or surety bonding, rely on the industry experts at Suber to help you minimize risk, maximize potential, and improve your bottom line. Suber, an official partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Official health plan of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
What's up, Pittsburgh? Brian Rust here, letting you know that I'm bringing back half-off milkshakes to the city of Pittsburgh. That's right, you heard me. Half-off shakes are back at Milkshake Factory when I score a goal. Rusty's Shake is a rich chocolate shake with oven-baked brownies, crushed cookies and cream, and melted hot fudge topped with whipped cream. And of course, a chocolate 17. When I score a goal, come celebrate with me at the Milkshake Factory.
Ouch! Man, that check's gotta hurt. And the gloves are coming off. Oof, that's $100 right there. Yeesh, that's $1,000.
Hey, what's with the dollar amounts?
That's how much each injury could be worth if he calls Morgan & Morgan. Yikes, that one's gotta be at least $10K.
When you hire Morgan & Morgan, their gloves come off when they fight for you.
Official personal injury lawyers of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
It's time for the scoreboard.
We're all tied at 1 after one period here in Pittsburgh. Brian Metzer back here with you, and the goal scorers. Connor McMichael was 26th for the Caps. That opened the game. And then Brian Rust gets number 30. You can see he was awfully excited about burying that one for that milestone goal. I'm sure there's some sort of bonus coming his way because there typically is attached to those kinds of goals. You have the Sabres ahead of the Flyers right now, 3-1 at the end of one period of play. Michkov is 25th. Tuck, Krebs, and Quinn, the goal scorers for the Sabres. The Maple Leafs and Red Wings are tied at 1. That's just at the start of the second period of play. Austin Matthews, his 33rd goal of the season. The Lightning and Rangers are scoreless at the 1950 mark of their first period of play, or that's actually into the second period. Sorry about that. The Islanders and Blue Jackets are scoreless at the start of the second period. There, the Senators ahead of the Hurricanes, 3-2 in Ottawa. That's at the end of one period of play. Kakaniemi, his 12th. And Rod Brindamore has seen his son get called up to play for the Hurricanes. He's on the board with a goal tonight, so that's kind of fun to see happening with Dad on the bench. When we come back here, second period action, you'll hear it from Joe Brand and the old 2-9er Phil Bork on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The temperature is rising. The flowers are blooming. And Happy Radio is here to make your days even brighter. Playing nothing but feel-good hits to put a pep in your step. Listen to our collection of Happy Radio channels anytime at home with the SiriusXM app on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
NHL Morning Skate. December 15th, Vancouver Canucks were in the playoffs. And this is when they had that big controversy going on. So they had to do something about it. And they did do something about it. Well, now they're not in the playoffs. You know what? They're not even really close anymore. This is the most absurd season falling apart. The most disappointing team this season of the 32 are the Vancouver Canucks.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stiller.
Weekdays, 7 a.m. Eastern
on NHL Network Radio,
SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Under review.
Have wrestled with this one for a while, but I believe we've got our top 5 player of all time. Gretzky, Lemieux, or Howe, and I think it's Sidney Crosby for all-around play. Any discussion, no matter how you slice that loaf of bread, Sidney Crosby's in that discussion. Talk about high-level consistency.
Under review with Mick Kern, 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio,
SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Only the Premier League can
make you feel like this.
And now every match is on the SiriusXM app.
Can you believe it?
From the title race.
This is remarkable.
Keeps this title charge on track, surely. To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible.
Hear every English Premier League match on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app. Just search for your favorite club.
Is the child care provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The biggest games in the world.
Ovechkin fires! He scores!
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, Dick's Sporting Goods, official sporting goods retailer of the Penguins.
This is Alex Nedeljkovic. Now let's get back to the action called by Joe Brand and the old 2-9er Phil Bourque.
Thanks, Ned. 4 saves for the Penguins goaltender in that first period. 12 saves for Clay Stevenson, who's making his NHL debut tonight. And after the first 20 minutes, we're tied up at 1, ready for the second period here from Pittsburgh.
What I liked when I saw the stat sheet come through is of the 13 shots the Penguins had in that first period, 11 different players had at least one shot. And again, that's not even counting the 3 times the Penguins clanked one off the crossbar over the shoulders of Clay Stevenson.
Ryan Shea and Connor Timmins, the only Penguins with more than one shot on net, both of them with 2. And we get a face-off at center ice. Pierre-Luc Dubois against Sidney Crosby. Crosby wins it as the Penguins in their home black sweaters attack from right to left. Capitals in their road white sweaters attacking from left to right. Final game of the regular season. The Penguins trying to pick up their second win against the Capitals this year as Grizzly rips a one-timer, saved by Stevenson. Rebound pops out to the far side. Crosby nearly had it. Swept away by Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Yeah, that shot by Grizzly hit Brian Rust, I think somewhere around the midsection, and he gets himself quickly off the ice. Did not go down the tunnel. Is still hanging around the Penguins bench.
Capitals had in the Penguins zone nearly a tic-tac-toe goal, but Penguins were able to break it up in front of the slot. Back into the Washington zone. Jacob Chychrun slings it up ahead to the neutral zone as Pierre-Luc Dubois loses the puck. Malkin fighting for it, dumped back into the Penguins, and off the far corner, Ned will stop it. Connor Timmins collects him behind Ned's net. Snaps it up to Malkin, who plays it off the near wall. The neutral zone over to the far side for Raquel. Sends it wide to the net to the near corner. Danton Heinen chases after it. Pulls it up from the near board. Swings it around the wall over to the far corner. Connor Timmins races after it. Penguins break it up. Heinen in between the rings. Trying to rip a shot, couldn't connect. Loose puck still, and now the high slot for Timmins. Tomasino, far circle, off the bench. Fires it off the shoulder of Stevenson. Pops up and skims the netting. A minute and a half into the second period. Still tied up at 1.
Well, if you're just talking about quality chances, the Penguins have heavily outchanced the Caps here. And it is surprising it's only 1-1. And that's another glorious chance as Tomasino comes off the bench. Right-hand shot, right side of the ice. He gets to the dot. He just keeps hanging on and saying, man, they're going to just let me keep walking it in here. And he does. He tries to rip that baby upstairs. It either went off the collarbone, shoulder, or maybe the top of the glove of Clay Stevenson. And hey, Stevenson's I have a puck here go up into the crowd off a Penguin. And Stevenson's been really good. And his first NHL start, if not for Stevenson, maybe this is getting away from the Caps a little bit.
Again, Washington skating with 13 forwards, 5 defensemen tonight. And their goaltender making his NHL debut. Go get him, kid. Penguins out shooting 14-5, but we're tied up at 1. A minute and a half into the second period. As Washington takes it into the Penguin zone, drops it down to the near corner. Along the boards is Ryan Graves. One arms it over to the far side. Connor Dewar in full flight. Takes it through the neutral zone. Chips it into Washington's end.
Far corner, Joona Koppanen tried to box out a defenseman, but now it's taken by Tomasino. Near circle, high slot Ryan Graves. Tomasino back to the near circle. Tries to cut towards the crease. Now we'll take it to the high slot. Drag it to the far circle and pitch it up to Kolyachonok. Had to work to keep it on side of the high slot. Sends it around the boards. It goes rolling over to the near wall. Brandon Duhaime comes away with it. On the goal line, coughed it up, but Nick Dowd found it. And now Washington resets. Rasmus Sandin curling around before entering the neutral zone as both teams get a bit of a change here. Washington takes it into the Penguin zone and coughs it up to Ryan Graves. He'll shovel it out towards center ice. Valtteri Puustinen chips it into the Washington zone near corner. Capitals handle the tumbling puck, send it all the way down to the Penguins end. Matt Grzelcyk racing after it, and no icing on the hustling effort from Mangiapane. Now sent around the boards down into Washington's end. That'll send Stevenson out of his net to stop it. Flings it over to the far side. Puustinen knocks it out of midair, but it goes rolling out to the neutral zone, taken by Mangiapane. Gains the Penguins zone. Up to the high slot. Chychrun rips a shot, saved by Ned. Rebound sitting in front. They hack and whack at it. And Ned keeled over to the far side of the crease. Is able to freeze it finally with over 3 minutes gone in this second period. Still tied up at 1.
3 white jerseys. Got in behind the Penguins defenseman right in front of Alex Nedeljkovic. So not only does he have to look through traffic to make that save off the stick of Chychrun, who let that wrister go from the center point. But then the puck got just away from Ned just a little bit. He was able to reel it in eventually, but he had to fight through those sticks of the Washington Capitals that just kept hacking and whacking away while Alex Nedeljkovic was trying to control that puck in this blue paint.
Chychrun had 2 goals against the Penguins in this building back in February. Last meeting between these two teams. He's got 3 goals on the year against the Penguins. Alex Ovechkin's been held off the score sheet against Pittsburgh this year. Snap pass across the ice. It's now taken by the Pens. Tomasino feeds Carlson far side. He'll lift it up into the air. Tumbling puck to the neutral zone that Connor Dewar sends deep into Washington's end. No penalties in this game yet either. The Penguins now doubling the amounts of shots on goal over the Caps, 14-7. This one gets popped out of play. Jumps into the stands. Nearly 4 minutes gone in the second period. Still tied up at 1.
Well, tomorrow night's Mega Millions jackpot now has an estimated annuity of $112 million. Yeah, $112 million. So don't forget to play at your local retailer, or you can play online. Pennsylvania Lottery proceeds, it benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. You got to be 18 or older, and please play responsibly.
It should help out your summer plans, huh?
The 112?
Yeah.
That might support my habits and your habits.
All right. What are we doing? Let's
go.
Get a couple. There's Ovechkin ripping a shot, saved by Ned. Keeps this game tied up at 1. Nearly 4 minutes gone in the second period. Alex Ovechkin, all 896 career goals of him. Again, with no goals against the Penguins this year, he's playing in his 80th game in his career against the Penguins. He does have 42 goals in that career against the Pens. And he's 1 even strength goal away from passing Gordie Howe at 566.
Going to be 40 years of age on September 17th.
He's had 1 goal since breaking Gretzky's record. His shot goes wide. 2 assists during that stretch. He has picked up 12 points, though, over his last 8 games. And points in each one of those 8 games. This is now pushed ahead to Crosby in the neutral zone near side. Fires it over to Koivunen. Far circle. Shot it. Got deflected. Bounces over to the near side. Now it's taken by a speeding Ethan Frank into the Penguins zone. Chips it up to the high slot. Dylan Strome fires. Blocker save Ned. Rebound kicked out towards the crease, and the Penguins clear it out to the neutral zone.
And it's one of the best chances right there for the Caps after they scored the first goal of the game by Connor McMichael.
Capitals trying to drag the puck into the Penguins zone. Ryan Graves making that difficult. Now Evgeny Malkin's got it. At center ice, he carries it over the Penguins logo, shovels it over to Danton Heinen on the near side, takes it over the Capitals line, tries to keep it alive at the half boards. They're still fighting for it. And pulled free for a moment. Back to the battle at the near half wall. kicked out by Danton Heinen, but the Caps take it away. And now they cough it up, high slot. Downstairs, Ryan Graves sends it. And now a loose pass taken by Rasmus Sandin. He's unable to clear. Ricard Raquel at the far point keeps it alive. Got it to Malkin, who was trying to shrug off Brandon Duhaime from him. They're still fighting for the puck right in front of the Penguins bench. 5.5 minutes gone. As Malkin kicks it up to the high slot looking for Grzelcyk. It was pushed over into center ice by Taylor Radish. Down into the Penguin zone it goes. And now a loose puck is taken by Erik Karlsson. His pass broken up by Ryan Leonard. It goes all the way down to Washington's end. They take it back, and Malkin got a pass quickly, but the Penguins were offside. 14:10 to go in this second period. Still tied up at 1.
Sam Poulin throwing his body around. Sam Poulin, former first-round pick of the Penguins back in 2019. That cheer you're hearing is for Paul Skeens and a few of the Pirates in a suite. But back to Sam Poulin. They have him listed at 6'2", 227. That's legit. He is absolutely jacked. You would think he would be more physical with the size that he's at. Still trying to find his way as a first-round pick.
Poulin playing in his 13th career NHL game, his 7th this season, but his first since November. Still looking for his first NHL goal. He does have 2 career NHL assists. As Penguins send it down.
Penalty coming up here.
First penalty of the night. It'll be on Mangiapane. And the Penguins will get a power play when we come back. First break of this second period. Pens and Caps tied up at 1. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Pittsburgh-based EQT Corporation is the top natural gas producer in the United States and is a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins' pathway to net zero. EQT is an industry leader in cutting emissions and using our region's clean resources to replace dirtier sources of energy overseas. EQT and the Penguins are focused on achieving key climate goals and reducing emissions across Pittsburgh and beyond. Visit EQT.com to learn more about how EQT is moving towards the future and setting the standard for production of affordable, reliable, and clean energy.
As the largest and most experienced program in the region, UPMC Sports Medicine knows that injuries can happen to anyone, whether you're a weekend athlete, a rising star, or even a seasoned pro. That's why we offer a complete range of services and experts to help treat and prevent sports-related injuries to get you back in the game. To make an appointment, visit upmcsportsmedicine.com. The UPMC is the official healthcare provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
A little fire against fire here. The Penguins have picked up 8 power play goals in their last 7 games. The Washington Capitals with the 4th best PK in the league. They've also killed off their last 13. We got a 1-1 tie with over 6 minutes gone in this second period, and the Penguins on their first power play of the night.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
Maybe a Sidney Crosby point thanks to a Ricard Raquel assist.
We've come a long way, Joe, you and I. Yep, bingo.
Didn't have to dig too deep for that one. Penguins on the power play in the Cap zone. Brian Rust above the near circle. Far side, Matt Grzelcyk, who's back quarterbacking the top power play unit. He's got in the high slot, down to the near circle. Brian Rust, shot goes off the shin pad of Sandin. Penguins take it back, shovel it up to Grzelcyk, high slot. Far circle, Crosby. Raquel fires, got blocked. Popped up, skimmed the netting. 1:37 to go on the Penguins power play. We're tied up at 1 here in the second.
We have seen that work before for the Penguins. And Matt Grzelcyk's the guy on the power play. He makes such good decisions with the puck, and his passing is exceptional. It's flat, it's crisp, it's on the tape, and allows Sidney Crosby to one-touch that pass to Rickard Rakell. It's a hinge play. Once it goes down to Sid on the goal line, that's where Rakell bumps out to a soft spot in the slot for the one-timer.
Grzelcyk, one of two Penguins to play in every game this year, the other one being Erik Karlsson, who was quarterbacking the second unit. Here's Koivunen now on this top power play unit above the far circle for Brian Rust. The near point for Grzelcyk, back over to Rust, far point. Takes it towards the slot, drops it off for Grzelcyk. Koivunen far circle, downstairs for Crosby. Back up to Koivunen in the circle, high slot Grzelcyk. Koivunen again in the circle, downstairs Crosby. Backhanded pass, Rust scores! 1-0 from Sidney Crosby for his 90th point of the season. The power play continues to dazzle, and Brian Rust has 2 goals tonight. A 2-1 lead for the Pens.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And once again, who lights the fuse? Matt Grzelcyk. As he sends it to Koivunen, and because that pass was so crisp from Grzelcyk to Koivunen, it allowed Koivunen to make a little behind the back, just a quick pass to Sid. And when Sid got the puck in behind the goal line, he knew what he was going to do with it. He quickly turned to his left to spin on his backhand and then send that bullet backdoor pass to Brian Rust, who was just hanging out in the weeds, baby, and waiting for that puck from Sidney Crosby. And how about the pinpoint accuracy of Brian Rust to go short side up over the shoulder of Clay Stevenson? It had to be perfect. It had to be hard. It was by Rusty. He's not satisfied with 30. He's got 31 now. 2-1 Penguins.
And Sidney Crosby now with 90 points on the season. 9th time he's done that in his career. It's assist number 58 for the Penguins captain and a 2-1 lead. Ville Koivunen also credited with yet another assist. He already extended his streak, as this is going to be another penalty on the Capitals, and it's going to be Dylan McElrath throwing Philip Tomasino into the boards.
Yeah, McElrath right away gave a little tap. He looks at the referee and says, I know, that's just a bigger man. That's a big, strong man. Launching a smaller player in Philip Tomasino. It's a little shove.
Minor penalty for cross-checking.
Yeah, he knows it has to be called. I mean, there's nothing dirty about this. Tomasino is fine. It's just the optics were terrible. And McElrath knew it. He looked right to the referee, kind of gave a little smirk like, yeah, I get it. And then he gave a little tap to Tomasino, almost to say, sorry, man, I'm a big baby Huey. I don't know my own strength.
Well, the Penguins back on the power play in the slot. It's Crosby downstairs. Rakell can't sweep it home.
Robbed.
Sprawling save from Clay Stevenson.
2 of them. First one on the redirect by Rakell right on the doorstep. And then as he spun around, because the redirect came with his back facing Stevenson, the rebound came right out to him on the forehand, and somehow Stevenson pinned the left pad to the blue paint and robbed Rakell, as Rax is looking for point number 7-0.
Rakell already with 35 goals this year. That's a new career high for him. Crosby wins the draw again. Penguins back on the power play. They lead 2-1 under 12 to go in this second. In the crease to downstairs for Brian Rust. Jumped off his skate, and the Capitals will take it the other way. McDowd flying into the Penguin zone. Stripped of the puck by Crosby.
How about Sid playing defense? Looked like a Norris Trophy defenseman back there on Dowd.
Already winning the most complete player award for the 6th straight year, voted by players throughout the NHL. He received over 33% of the votes. As Grzelcyk hustles it into the Capital zone. Koivunen finds Crosby. Rakell, a one-timer, and doesn't get through. Koivunen collects at the near corner to Rakell near point. Koivunen near half wall now to the circle. His pass got blocked, and the Capitals clear it on down to the Penguins' end. 65 seconds to go on the Penguins' power play. They lead 2-1 thanks to a power play goal in this second period. 11 minutes to go in it as Erik Karlsson in the second unit now takes the can at the half wall in the circle to the high slot Puustinen, far circle Heinen. He takes it over to the far half boards, the slot for Karlsson. He fires, got deflected over to the far corner. Anton Heinen down to the corner for Malkin. Carries it over to the boards. As he's surrounded by a couple of white sweaters. 25 seconds to go on this Penguins power play. Tomasino near circle fires, and just a piece of it by Clay Stevenson, redirected behind him. 15 seconds to go on the Penguins power play. They've still got it. One-timer Malkin, another save by Stevenson. Popped off the back glass. They fight for the puck in behind the cage. As we're down to 5 seconds left in the power play, Capitals are able to clear it out. Carlson couldn't keep it alive at the near point. Ned slapping his stick down to the ice. Out of the box comes McElrath. We're back to 5-on-5. Carlson, though, with it in the Capitals zone. Fires it over to the far circle. It got taken away by Washington. Nick Dowd will dump it on down to the Penguins' end far corner. 9:45 to go in this second. Penguins lead 2-1. Now stretch up ahead. Connor Dewar, far circle, fires. Pad save by Stevenson. Rebound popped all the way out to the high slot. A couple of Penguins collide with each other. Capitals in the Penguin zone. Strome shoots and scores. Dragged to wrister from the near circle. And Dylan Strome, who collected a hat trick on Tuesday, ties this game up at 2 with 9:30 to go in the second period.
And that is number 30 for Strome. And what a shot. And Connor Timmins looked at his goaltender and almost, you could read his body language. Sorry. I'm sorry. And Strome just used Connor Timmins as a perfect screen. Ripped it right between the legs of Timmins. And that's tough for Alex Nedeljkovic to pick that puck up. That's a rocket. But hold the phone. Are we getting a challenge here?
I didn't catch what for.
Yeah, it's got to be for offsides, right?
Yeah.
Because there's no goaltender interference. It's about a 29-foot wicked wrister by Strome. So maybe Strome does not. Oh, and it looks like Ovi's offside. So I think this one's coming back. This is clearly, you can hear the fans right now. They're seeing what we just saw up here. And so for Dylan Strome, it will not be number 30, and it will stay 2-1 Penguins, as Alexander Ovechkin was a good stride offside.
Well, the Penguins video coach team of Madison Nickel and CJ Delamonte are 75% this year, 6 for 8. And the officials already have a decision. Here's the call.
Upon further review, the play was offsides. We have no goal to play.
Is that the quickest review we've had all year?
Make it 7 for 9 for Madison Nickel and CJ Delamonte. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, and their numbers when it comes to offsides, I think ever since replay and challenges have come into the NHL, I think the boys in the back there are around 80%, maybe even a little bit higher, 85% when it comes to challenging offsides. Way to go, boys. Still 2-1 Penguins.
That's the whole point of it. The Penguins stay on top. Dylan Strome not credited with his 30th goal. 9.5 to go in this second period.
Hit the curved glass on the dump in. This faceoff will come outside the Penguins blue line when we come back.
You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hello, it's me, Katie Nolan, host of Casuals on the SiriusXM Podcast Network. It's a podcast for people who like sports a normal amount. Every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm joined by some of the biggest names in sports and entertainment to break down our favorite news stories from the sports world and beyond. It really doesn't matter what level of sports fandom or knowledge you have, just bring what you've got. We're all here to have fun and learn together. No judgments. You can find Casuals on the SiriusXM app, Pandora, or wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to follow the show so you never miss an episode. Love you. Mean it.
In case you missed it on NHL Network Radio.
Butch Navitz for the deflection. They shoot. They score! Jimmy Snuggerud. His first is a blue. 3-0 St. Louis. It's a power play goal. And in the biggest NHL game of his young career, he scores his first NHL goal. Smile away, kid. Smile away.
NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game. And when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161, XM Channel 206. In fact, we'll be there every weekday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got something you want to break down from this game, you know where to find us. Just make sure you have a take and don't suck.
Step your game up.
That has never changed. In fact, the show has never changed. We're just back home. And it's great to be there. Sirius 161, XM 206. See you there.
Still 2-1 Penguins. 9.5 to go in this second period. Washington looked like they had tied things up, but due to Alex Ovechkin being offside, call was overturned. Penguins still holding on to a 1-goal lead with 9.5 to play in the second period. Our veterans are being honored here in the second period, like they have been all year long. Goes without saying how much we appreciate everyone who has served in their efforts, allowing us to do things like talk about a hockey game. Santa Claus in the building too, apparently. Everyone making out all the stops here in the last game of the year.
Maybe he couldn't get, maybe something happened. He couldn't get to the game, but had the awesome outfit picked out. And like, I don't care. I don't care with 70 degrees outside. I'm wearing the Santa suit to the last game.
He was trying to pick up some work for the next upcoming year. Sales, baby, never stops. 9 minutes to go in this second period. Washington with it in the Penguins zone to the far point. It's Alexia breaking down towards the far corner. Takes it to the near side, up to the circle. Slows it down, high slot, one-timer, doesn't get through traffic. No, it did. A glove save from Alex Nedeljkovic, keeping the Penguins ahead 2-1 with under 9 to play in this second.
Well, in my humble estimation, both goaltenders were just a little bit over the halfway mark of this hockey game. Penguins up 2-1. Both goaltenders have been really good so far in this game.
Again, Alex Nedeljkovic making just his third start in the last calendar month. Clay Stevenson making his NHL debut. I don't think I've ever seen a goalie do the rookie lap.
Rookie lap, yeah.
When it's just the goalie, it was a pretty cool look.
Cool for you, awkward for him.
Yeah, what do they do?
Yeah.
They don't need to practice their shots. Prior to the game, chatting with the Capitals broadcast crew, and John Walton was asking, has there ever been a goaltending tandem that each had a goalie goal in their careers?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Tristan Jarry last season, Alex Nedeljkovic this year. Here comes Tomasino into the Capitals zone, near circle, tried to set it downstairs to Koponen, swept up to the far point for Erik Karlsson. High slot, wrists one, got blocked, goes over to the near corner. Washington tries to chip it out in the efforts of Taylor Radish. Fight for the puck along the near half boards. Lars Eller can't get to it. Tomasino does. Far circle. They score! Sidney Crosby at the bottom of the far circle. He's got his second point tonight, and he puts the Penguins back up by
2. Amazing. Amazing, Sid. He just came off the bench as Koponen went to the bench, and Sid, it was almost like once he jumped over the boards, he knew what was going to happen. He knew this puck was eventually going to get on the stick of Tomasino. And let me just hang out. I'll just hang out over here because Tomasino's going to get the puck. He's going to take it towards the middle of the ice. I'll open up for the one-timer. He'll send me a perfect one-timer pass. I better get a lot on it. I better get it upstairs. He does both. It's 3-1 Penguins.
Career goal number 625 for Sid. That ties Joe Sakic for 5th most all-time with one franchise. The next guy, Mario. That's 690 for number 4 in NHL history. Here's a frozen puck by Clay Stevenson. 3-1 the Penguins lead with 7.5 to play in this second period.
I'll tell you, that was a remarkable play by Philip Tomasino because he had to hang on and get the defenseman, I believe it was Sandin, to go down. And then just that patience that he had. He knew what he wanted to do with the puck. But also, Stevenson couldn't cheat. He couldn't go over to Sid too early because Tomasino is still in prime shooting real estate. And just a brilliant play by Tomasino, the patience to wait for Sandin to go down, thread the needle to Sid, and put it right in that wheelhouse. The one-timer pass just inside the back foot where Sid could hammer it.
33 career goals against the Washington Capitals in his career. Playing in his 94th game against the Caps franchise. Connor Timmins takes away the puck in Washington's end. 3-1, the Penguins lead with 7:10 to play in the second period. Danton Heinen rips a shot. Malkin trying to bat in the rebound. It bounced off the top of the cage.
Wow. Right over the head of Stevenson. He had no idea where the puck was, and boink, right off the netting on the top of the net.
Washington dumps it down into the Penguins' end. Danton Heinen turns the puck over. Caps have it. Van Riemsdyk, Heather McElrath near half wall, tried to fire a shot, didn't get past Ryan Graves. Vasily Ponomarev hustling it through the neutral zone, chips it over to the far corner. As Tom Wilson slings it around the boards to McElrath in the near corner. Pitched up along the wall. Ovechkin's pass gets broken up by Poulin, taken back by Chikrin. And that gets stolen by the Penguins as well, as Poulin will tee it down into the Washington end. 6:20 to play in the second. Penguins lead 3-1 over the Caps. Brian Russ with a couple of goals. Sidney Crosby with the latest. The Caps dump it into the Penguins' end. Ryan Graves has it in behind Nedeljkovic's net. Allows traffic to flow through in front of him. Tomasino through the neutral zone. Chips it into the Caps' end. Bouncing puck went wide of Clay Stevenson as he tried to glove it on a short hop. Now pulled along the near side. Dewar tried to keep it alive. Had the Caps take it the other way. Here Luc Dubois dumps it down to the far corner in the Penguins' end. Pitched over to the near side for Tom Wilson. Swept up to the point for Van Riemsdyk. Rink-wide pass to Alexiev. He wrists one high above the net. Bounces off the end wall up to the near boards for Koppanen. Penguins can't clear it out just yet. Now Koppanen will carry it up to the neutral zone. Muscle it over to the far side. He gets it back on a quick pass. Far circle. Caps end. Centering pass. Doesn't connect with Tomasino. Is out on the ice when one of the Caps. Now a quick snap pass coming from Carlson, and the Caps take that back. Washington dumps it into the Penguins, and with 5:15 to play in the second period, Penguins lead 3-1. Ryan Shea in between the penalty boxes, tried to dump it in, took a to hit the official.
Yeah.
Luckily he's okay. Quickly gets back up. Penguins trying to keep it alive in the cap zone. The near circle. Crosby to Brian Russ. Tries to stuff it home. And Clay Stevenson, sliding from right to left, is able to keep it out. Brian Russ nearly picking up his 7th career hat trick. But instead it stays 3-1 Pens with under 5 to go in this second period. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Pittsburgh-based EQT Corporation is the top natural gas producer in the United States and is a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins' pathway to net zero. EQT is an industry leader in cutting emissions and using our region's clean resources to replace dirtier sources of energy overseas. EQT and the Penguins are focused on achieving key climate goals and reducing emissions across Pittsburgh and beyond. Visit EQT.com to learn more about how EQT is moving towards the future and setting the standard for production of affordable, reliable, and clean energy.
They say that the best beer you'll ever taste is the one you had the best time while drinking. The secret to the unmatched satisfaction of Icy Light, victory is sweetest hard-earned. And here, we taste it a lot. Icy Light. A surprisingly easy call.
As the largest and most experienced program in the region, UPMC Sports Medicine knows that injuries can happen to anyone, whether you're a weekend athlete, a rising star, or even a seasoned pro. That's why we offer a complete range of services and experts to help treat and prevent sports-related injuries to get you back in the game. To make an appointment, visit upmcsportsmedicine.com. The UPMC is the official healthcare provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Keeping your home warm in the winter and cold in the summer, Mitsubishi Electric is a top manufacturer of heating and air conditioner products. And they're hiring. To elevate your career in engineering, project management, product assembly, and more, visit meppi.com/careers.
Penguins lead Washington 3-1 with less than 5 to play in this second period. Last game of the regular season. And the Penguins making it pretty tough on Washington's defense. And Brian Rust with 2 goals, Sidney Crosby with 1, as we'll get a face-off to the left of Clay Stevenson.
Well, how about Sid? He just keeps on keeping on. It's remarkable. Now, he could have coasted to the finish line, but he did. He actually flipped on the nitrous oxide and threw it into overdrive down the stretch here.
In the pass to Brian Rust on that second goal.
Yeah.
Did the little turnaround backhand, almost no look pass. Then able to catch a great feed from Philip Tomasino, fresh off the bench.
Didn't he do the same thing in the Four Nations with Nathan McKinnon and the first goal of the first game they played?
I think you're right, yeah. It was pretty cool when the Penguins were in Tampa and hearing John Cooper wax poetry about Sidney Crosby as he coached him in that Four Nations faceoff. Here's a pad save by Ned. We get a penalty. This is going to be on the Penguins.
Yeah, it's going to be on Ryan Shea. Or maybe not. Who's going? Sid going? It is, the captain.
Pittsburgh 87, minor penalty for hooking.
This is ridiculous. I'll be honest with you. This is absolutely ridiculous. Sid on the back check on Dowd, and he reaches between the legs of Dowd as he's back checking, and then gives a little lift to the stick of Dowd. That's it, folks. That's it. It's a little lift to the stick, then gets his stick out of there right away, and you get called for hooking. Ay, ay, ay. Come on, boys.
First power play for Washington tonight. They are 1 for their last 8, but prior to that, they went 8 for 16. Dylan Strome down in the bottom of the far circle, up to the top of it. Ovi obviously hanging out on the farther side. Strome with it at the circle to the high slot Chychrun. He thought about it to Ovi, instead goes down to Strome again. Down for Pierre-Luc Dubois on the near circle. Ovi's at the top of the slot now. Down to Dylan Strome. Centering pass, couldn't connect with Tom Wilson. Kicks out over to the far side. Chychrun keeps it alive. 90 seconds to go on the Coppers penalty kill for the Penguins. Dylan Strome, bottom of the near circle, caught the feed from Ovi. Downstairs, Pierre-Luc Dubois. Big save by Ned from left to right. Ovi tees one up and went wide of the net, and it's shoveled on out by Connor Dewar.
Oh, Alex Nedeljkovic, how did you make that save? That's a bullet backdoor pass to Chychrun, and he one-times it, and somehow full extension by Alex Nedeljkovic with the blocker and the pad, and he robs Chychrun to keep it 3-1 Penguins.
1 minute left on the Coppers penalty kill. Dylan Strome back into the Penguin zone. One-timer Ovechkin, he scores. Career goal number 897 for the Great Eight. It's his first goal against the Penguins this year, and it gets the Capitals back within 1. 3-2, the Penguins lead with 3 minutes to play in the second period.
It's a knuckle puck. This thing drops about 3 feet. And the look on Alex Nedeljkovic's face is just like, are you kidding me? And so why do these pucks go in for Alex Nedeljkovic, for Alexander Ovechkin? It's because he just shoots it so hard, Joe. This hits the middle of the net, but he doesn't care that it's a rolling puck. He still just absolutely pounds the living daylights out of it, and the thing comes in, and it's like a knuckleball, man. It is just deking and diving all over the place. Nedeljkovic has his left glove up in the air, and it just eludes the glove, finds the back of the net. It's now 3-2.
So it's Ovi's 44th goal of the season, which also ties Gordie Howe for most goals by someone at the age of 39 or older. The Penguins have it back in the Capital zone, still up by 1. Shot got blocked by traffic in front of the net. Rasmus Sandin will clear it on out. But again, it was a power play goal, not an even strength goal. Ovechkin still one even strength goal away from passing Gordie Howe overall. There's a big save by Ned as one of the Caps teed it up, and then a second save by Ned as Anthony Beauvillier, the former Penguin, in front of the crease, tried to get one past him. 3-2, the Penguins lead with 2:18 to go in this second period.
Oh, that's a good shift after a goal there by the Washington Capitals to try to tie the score. Nothing fancy here. They just went to work, and it was their fourth line. Beauvillier out here after the power play, but he's out here with Dowd. And Duhaime, that's just a mucking and grinding line. And now the Caps feel like they've got a little momentum here towards the end of the second period. They come back with the Ovechkin line.
2:18 left in this second as the Capitals win the draw, but it goes all the way out to the neutral zone. They have to reset. Penguins chasing after it in Washington's end as McElrath throws it off the end boards. It's taken by Alex Alexiev. Stretches it up ahead, tumbling puck into the Penguin zone. Timmins couldn't get a handle on it. Loose puck in the near circle, taken back by Washington. Ovechkin a drive wide of the net. Kicked off the far corner and rolled all the way down to Washington's end. Here's a hustling Joona Koppanen trying to cut it off from Clay Stevenson, but it's played up ahead, turned over. Koivunen with the near circle, curls around, tees it up for Ryan Shea, and he couldn't get it all the way through. It bounced off traffic. 1:35 to go in this second period. Penguins lead 3-2. Dumping attempt by the Capitals goes all the way down to the Penguins end, slowed down by Connor Timmins. Plays it ahead to Ville Koivunen over the Penguins logo, now over the Caps line, near side for Sidney Crosby. That outstretched to keep it alive, got it to Brian Rust. He coughed up the puck. Caps take it back with 75 seconds to go in this second period. Here comes a speeding Lars Eller into the Penguin zone, far circle, tough angle shot on net. That Ned's able to save over to the far side of the net, keep the Penguins ahead 3-2, 1:06 to play in the second.
Well, another big save there by Alisson Nedeljkovic. After the Ovechkin goal, that's 3 right there. And it just seemed like Lars Eller just got half a step on Erik Karlsson and just cruised right around Karlsson and got a really good shot. It ended up being from a kind of a tough angle to the right of Nedeljkovic, but really good chance there by Lars Eller to try to even the score.
Eller in his second stint with the Washington Capitals. He was traded from the Penguins earlier this year. Had 4 goals in 17 games with the Pens. Has 6 goals this year with the Caps, now in 63 games. Of course, scored the game-winning goal in the 2018 Stanley Cup Final against the Vegas Golden Knights. But we got an official down on the ice.
What happened there?
In front of the Penguins bench.
What was that?
The officials are getting tagged left and right.
Yeah, this was the referee who was by the Washington blue line. Did somebody throw something at him? That is just so bizarre. And he's grabbing his left arm. The puck was already in the Penguin zone. This was in the Penguin zone. Oh, maybe when the puck was cleared down, they did catch him there. I didn't see that at first. I'm watching the replay now, but
no, I don't know if that was it, because I mean,
it was icing on the Penguins.
He had been down when the puck was on the other side. As here come the Penguins the other way. Brian Rust into the Cap zone, pitch back to Koivunen, far half wall, back down to Rust. Crosby on the doorstep, can't get it to go. Kicked over to the near side as Dubois will take it. We've got 12 seconds to go in this second period. It's dumped into the Penguins end. Around the boards, Ned stops it with his stick over to the far side for Danton Heinen. 5 seconds left in the period. They'll play keep away as Kolyachonok's got it. That'll do it for the second. So the Penguins took a 3-1 lead, but then Alex Ovechkin, with his 897th career goal, gets the Capitals back within 1. It's 3-2 Pens through 2 periods here in Pittsburgh.
Well, obviously the Washington Capitals do not have their fastball. They don't have their A game, but give them credit. They're just kind of hanging around, and the Penguins have had opportunities to pull away in this game. Clay Stevenson's been really good, allowing the Capitals to hang around and not let this one get away from them. A little more killer instinct by the Penguins, and I think they can pull away with this one here, as the Caps are, they're playing as you would expect, right, Joe? They're playing conservatively to make sure they stay healthy, get ready for that first playoff round against the Montreal Canadiens.
23 saves for the Washington goaltender making his NHL debut in Clay Stevenson, but the Penguins lead 3-2 through 2 here in Pittsburgh. Brian Metzer has the second intermission report for us, along with tweets with the old 2-9er. It's all here on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
I just wanted to thank Joe and Borky for accompanying me on many nights of work this season. I know Mikey is proud of them. My favorite memory from the season is Sidney Crosby breaking a Gretzky record before Ovi did. And I'm looking forward to what the kids can do next season with some more playing time.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, your neighborhood Ford store. Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs are the official vehicles of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Welcome back, Richard.
Yeah!
Oh, man.
It's Phil Bork. It's the Phil Bork Show.
It's been a long
Bork
time.
Bork and Bazzi Show? Can we make it a
Bork and Bazzi? It flows. It goes right off the tongue.
B squared.
You know what else goes right off the tongue? What I'm driving right now.
What are you driving?
I'm driving a F-150 XLT Super Crew.
We have over 500 trucks, F-Series, so F-152, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 50. Yeah, you can't say that fast, can you? Yes, and the yeehaw part of that is it's an over-the-top expression of happiness.
I'm approaching the age where I'm going to start getting my clothes the same place I get my groceries.
Angela Johnson-Reyes, the family reunion tour.
Can't keep shopping at the same stores I used to shop at. Like Forever 21. No, you're not. Turns out that was a lie.
See Angela Johnson-Reyes live on stage in Pittsburgh. The Event Center at Rivers Casino, Friday, April 25th. Get tickets now at riverscasino.com.
Hey, Pittsburgh fans, this is Phil Bork. In hockey, big goals cause big momentum shifts. As we all know, our Penguins have scored a lot of big goals. As a founding partner of the Penguins, PPG also likes big goals and is pursuing them off the ice to better the Pittsburgh community and the world. Together with the Penguins, PPG increases access to free STEM education through the annual Science at Play and Sticks and STEM events at PPG Paints Arena. We like big goals because when we score them, we all win.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Official health plan of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Now it's time for the second period recap, brought to you by Giant Eagle. Now back to the Penguins Radio Network.
And welcome into our second intermission report, where the Penguins hold a 3-2 lead over the visiting Washington Capitals here at PPG Paints Arena. Brian Metzer here with you, and you wanted a cherry on top of your season with Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin coming together. Well, you're getting a show from both. Alex Ovechkin scores a goal in the period, and Sidney Crosby puts together a goal and a beautiful assist to go with it. Sid is playing some of his best hockey of the year right now, and it was just great to see him put that together. So he's over 90 points now for the season. Another big accolade for the Penguins captain. But the first goal of that period did come from Brian Rust. It was his 31st of the season, coming from none other than Sidney Crosby. Koivunen got the second helper on it. It came at 7:19, and that was Andrew Mangiapane in the box for holding the stick. So the Penguins make him pay on the power play. Sid would get another at 11:56, scoring his 33rd goal of the season, finishing off a pretty feed from Philip Tomasino and Connor Dewar. The pass, I've seen Tomasino do this a number of times this season. He just puts it through traffic right into an area where Sidney Crosby roofs it for that pretty 33rd goal of the season. But it was, as I mentioned in the open, Alex Ovechkin kind of capping things with his 44th goal of the season on the power play with Sid in the box from Strome and Dubois. When we come back, we are going to tweet the old 2-9er for the final time this season. Tweet us at Penguins Live or at Brian_Metzer, and Borky standing by to answer him next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
This is the S&T Bank second period instant radio replay. Brought to you by S&T Bank, proud presenting sponsor of the Penguins Radio Network.
Got blocked, goes over to the near corner. Washington tries to chip it out in the efforts of Taylor Radish. Fight for the puck along the near half boards. Lars Eller can't get to it. Tomasino does. Far circle. They score! Sidney Crosby at the bottom of the far circle. He's got his second point of the night, and he puts the Penguins back up by 2.
On the ice, playing smart can sound like this. And in the grocery store, shopping smart will sound like this. At Shop and Save, you can have a game-winning meal plan with essential everyday Culinary Circle and Stone Ridge Creamery products. Stock up on our store brands and rack up your pump perks to redeem at 140 participating Sunoco locations. Shop, save, enjoy life.
Penguins Pledge is the Penguins' commitment to a better community and environment. Launched in 2023, Penguins Pledge brings awareness and solutions for a more sustainable society. Together with our Pledge champion partners, Davey Tree, Excelitas, Duquesne Light Company, WM and Bradenton Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Penguins are excited to inspire our fans and to create action and awareness on issues of environmental and social sustainability. Learn more at pittsburghpenguins.com/Penguins Pledge.
You've spent all winter stuck inside imagining your next big home project. A bigger, brighter kitchen, a fabulous new fence, the possibility of a pool. There's so much you would do if only you could. The good news? With an S&T Home Equity Total Line of Credit, you can. We've got your back with financial flexibility, and we're here to support you with exceptional customer service. So dream as big as you want, and we'll help you bring those dreams home. At S&T, it's just what we do. S&T Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
As the largest and most experienced program in the region, UPMC Sports Medicine knows that injuries can happen to anyone, whether you're a weekend athlete, a rising star, or even a seasoned pro. That's why we offer a complete range of services and experts to help treat and prevent sports-related injuries to get you back in the game. To make an appointment, visit upmcsportsmedicine.com. The UPMC is the official healthcare provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
This is Phil Bork, the old 2-9er. Smith's is the official hot dog of the Pittsburgh Penguins and PPG Paints Arena, with recipes over 85 years old. Ask for Smith's hot dogs by name at Giant Eagle and other fine retailers. Smith's, it's a hot dog night in Pittsburgh. SmithsHotDogs.com.
Hey, hockey fans, the ice is heating up and the savings are too at Spitzer Auto World. Shop thousands of new vehicles at the Panda price. And here's the hat trick. Get a lifetime warranty at no charge. Wag more, spend less at Spitzer Auto World.
Our world revolves around you.
Tweet the old 2-9er.
And welcome back into our second intermission report where the Pens lead the Caps 3-2 after 2 in Pittsburgh. Brian Metzer here with you, and joining me now for the final time this season, I can't believe it, it's the old 2-9er Phil Bork for our final tweet segment. And Borky, we'll start off just with all the accolades. We got Morgan burning up his son, Jim, Cheryl, Captain Kirk, and Elizabeth, all just saying thank you for being a huge part of their season. They love that they get their questions in this moment with you and I discussing it and you answering it really means a lot to them.
No, some great questions. I know some of those people you mentioned, they're not on the same time schedule that we're on, different times. Maybe they're up early in the morning, late at night, whatever it is. And their questions are thoughtful and they're educated and at times very passionate. And whether they're good or bad, they're always very tasteful.
Yeah, that's the thing. Even when it's, something hurtful or something, there's nothing there. The Morgan threw in a little thought here. All the best to Chris Letang. Your thoughts on him getting that hole in the heart repaired? That's something he's lived with for a long time. Probably good to get that taken care of.
Yeah, Tanger going to be 38 at the end of the month. I think the 29th off the top of my head. Maybe that's off by a little bit. But anyways, it's in April. Just get it taken care of. 24, thank you. Another week from today. So just get it taken care of. You hear that, you hear anything with the heart.
Yep.
Somebody of his age, we all gasp, right? With
no doubt.
Especially a guy who's had 2 strokes. But for Tanger, and I guess, for people who have gone through traumatic experiences, when it's happening to you, it's never as bad as when you hear about it happening to somebody else. And for Tanger to show up at the rink shortly after the procedure, I think we can all collectively exhale. And if he feels okay with it, then we should be okay with it.
He's a bit of a stoic, too. He just deals with whatever comes his way, and he's done that for a long time.
He's just a hockey player.
Your thoughts, first of all, these two superstars coming together for the final time of the season, putting on a little bit of a show, and where you floored Alex Ovechkin, standing ovation in Pittsburgh. Cats and dogs living together, my friend. It's chaos, mass hysteria.
If both these teams were going to the playoffs, or if this game had more meaning, the Penguins would still do the salute to Ovi because that's the right thing to do. I just don't know if you'd hear those kind of chants. And, he hates to be loved and he loves to be hated. But, you need guys that put the black hat on once in a while because that's what makes sports great.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's been kind of fun to take that in tonight with these two guys going at it again.
Will he get 1,000?
I think so. I don't.
Same.
Yeah, for sure. Especially he's playing next year. There's no doubt.
It's going to be 40 in September, but I don't see him slowing down.
No, another semi-big year, I think, is in the offing. But thank you for this all season, brother. Great doing it with you. I love this time with you.
Same, pal. Thanks to you.
Of course, that is the old 2-9er Phil Bourque for the final time with me this year in this second intermission report. We'll reconvene in a few months, of course. When I come back, news, notes, and scores from around the league right here on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Penguins Pledge is the Penguins' commitment to a better community and environment. Launched in 2023, Penguins Pledge brings awareness and solutions for a more sustainable society. Together with our Pledge champion partners, PPG, U.S. Steel, Endra Energy, Wesco, Coca-Cola, and EQT, the Penguins are excited to inspire our fans and to create action and awareness on issues of environmental and social sustainability. Learn more at pittsburghpenguins.com/Penguins Pledge.
Pittsburgh knows the strength of a good team. At Tri-State Office Furniture, everyone brings something unique to the table, and we use those abilities to strengthen our team. We go above and beyond to find what's right for you, because once you're in the Tri-State family, you're a part of our team.
Crosby in front, he scores! What a goal by Sidney Crosby! Absolutely off the charts. Penguins fans love the greatest product ever imported from Nova Scotia. Hi, Staggy here to tell you about another great product from Nova Scotia, Mr. Donair Beef Jerky and Sticks, the official jerky of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Mr. Donair's gyro seasoning makes it the best jerky you'll ever taste. You'll find it at Cohen Markets on Amazon and at PPG Paints Arena. It's absolutely off the charts. Mr. Donair Beef Jerky.
Southern Tier Brewing Company's Overpack Variety Pack has your go-to beers this hockey season. From crushable to hoppy ales, Southern Tier's Overpack has it all. This hockey season, cheer on the Penguins with Southern Tier's Overpack Variety 15-pack. Southern Tier Brewing Company, Lakewood, New York, 21+.
Hey, Pens fans, Colby Armstrong here. As the official security partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins, the local team here at Vector Security is committed to protecting homes and businesses throughout southwestern PA. They are headquartered here. Their families eat, shop, and go to school and church in our communities. So they have a vested interest in keeping the homes and businesses of our neighbors safe and secure. Visit vectorsecurity.com/pens for a free security assessment that will address your unique needs. That's vectorsecurity.com/pens.
Hey everyone, Adnan and Verk here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch the movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit. The cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's time for the scoreboard.
Penguins leading the Caps 3-2 after 2 periods. Brian Metzer back here with you. And here's a look around the league. The Sabres close to knocking off the Flyers. They just started the third period in Buffalo up 4-2. If the Penguins were to lose tonight and the Sabres were to win, that would have them leapfrog the Penguins, if I'm not mistaken, and drop them down. However, Penguins, of course, ahead of the Caps, and we want to keep it that way, so we'll see how that goes. Looking a little further down the score sheet here, the Red Wings up on the Maple Leafs 3-1 in Toronto. The Hurricanes currently ahead of the Senators 5-3 in Ottawa. You got the Lightning and Rangers. Rangers lead that one 2-0 at the 15:56 mark of the third period. Blue Jackets with a big game going on. They're up 5-0 on the Islanders, and the Flames and Kings will meet tonight at 9:30. When we come back here from Pittsburgh, you have Joe Brand and Phil Bourque with third period action on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Celebrate the spirit of Easter on Sirius XM. Hear masses throughout the week on the Catholic Channel, including Easter Mass from Rome, New York, Los Angeles, and Washington, D.C. Embrace the promise of hope on Good Friday and Easter Sunday on Joel Osteen Radio.
You are full of resurrection power.
And celebrate the life of Jesus on the Billy Graham Channel. Plus, hear exclusive interviews, performances, and music for the occasion on the Sirius XM app. Just search Easter.
NHL Morning Skate.
December 15th, Vancouver Canucks were in the playoffs. And this is when they had that big controversy going on. So they had to do something about it. And they did do something about it. Well, now they're not in the playoffs. You know what? They're not even really close anymore. This is the most absurd season falling apart, the most disappointing team this season. of the 32 are the Vancouver Canucks.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
General manager of the Winnipeg Jets, Kevin Cheveldayoff. What would finishing first overall mean to the organization, Kevin?
Well, I think any time that, you can finish in an area where you're getting recognized, it's special. But again, the important thing for us is process. Is when we buy into playing the way we need to play, then, we feel comfortable that we'll win more games than not. And then you let the chips fall where they may.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM. The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back, stick handles to the backhand, loose in front, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
More about the GetGo Student Rush program today. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Centers.
Hockey comes alive. Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, Coca-Cola and the new Coke Zero, founding partner of the Penguins.
This is Matt Grzelcyk. Now let's get back to the action called by Joe Brand and the old 2-9er Phil Bourque.
Thanks, Matt. And again, Matt Grzelcyk, one of 2 Penguins, along with Erik Karlsson, to play each and every game this year. We've got 20 minutes left. The Penguins leading the Washington Capitals 3-2 here from Pittsburgh in the final game of the regular season. He's the old 2-9er Phil Bourque. I'm Joe Brand. We're very grateful for all the help that we've gotten all year long from each and everyone in this organization. And we definitely want to recognize those people at some point. But for right now, Penguins are trying to hang on to a 3-2 lead over the Washington Capitals. Alex Ovechkin has picked up his 44th goal of the season, which is number 897 of his career. But Brian Rust has 2 goals and Sidney Crosby with 1. Crosby with a couple of points. He's reached 90 points for the 9th time in his career, and Brian Rust 1 goal away from his 7th hat trick.
We also had a goal that was overturned after video review, and that would have been goal number 30 for Dylan Strome, but it was taken off the board because Alexander Ovechkin was offside on that goal.
Third period is underway. Penguins now attacking from left to right in their home black sweaters. Washington Capitals attacking from right to left in their road whites. Opening face-off to begin the third, brought to you by number 1 Cochrane. Go one better. Matt Grzelcyk chops it ahead on the far side as Ville Koivunen, still looking for his first NHL goal, takes it over the Capitals line. Rink wide pass to Crosby, near circle, slows down up to the high slot. Grzelcyk, he'll carry it over to the point. Shovel it down to the corner for Crosby. Carries it up along the near side. Over to Karlsson above the far circle. Wrist one, didn't get through traffic. Puck tumbles over to the near half wall. Koivunen feeds Grzelcyk back to Koivunen at the point. Slides it down along the near wall for Crosby out of his reach, and it'll go to the stick of Rasmus Sandin of Washington. Sent all the way down to the Penguins end. The Penguins will collect as both teams get a change. Now it's Danton Heinen cruising into the Washington zone. Malkin's pass broken up by the Capitals. Sends it over to the far half wall for Ryan Shea. Thrown into the boards by Anthony Beauvillier, the former Penguin. Now Malkin tries to carry it over to the far side. It got broken up by McElrath. Capitals clear it out to the neutral zone. Just missed Ovi's stick as it settled down by Connor Timmins. Penguins resetting in their own zone. Malkin far side of the neutral zone. Takes it into the Capitals end. Ricard Raquel couldn't get a clean handle on it. Capitals take it the other way. Anthony Beauvillier playing in his 5th different team over the last 2 years. Traded from the Penguins to the Washington Capitals earlier this year. The Capitals now resetting in their own zone.
You know, a Bo would say, 4 teams didn't want me, but 5 did.
We said when he was moved, one of the good guys to talk to.
Oh, yeah.
What an easy guy to have a conversation
Agreed.
with.
You pull for guys like that. You do.
Now the Penguins taking it through the neutral zone, slide it down into the near corner of Washington's end. Kopanen wrapping up one of the Capitals. The puck goes free to Dewar. Here's Graves, a one-timer, went wide of the net. Over to the near half boards. Kolyachonok tries to keep it alive. He gets it to Kopanen. Far circle. Shot fired just wide from Tomasino. And cleared on out to the neutral zone as Graves will hustle it down in his own end. 2.5 minutes gone in this third period. Penguins working with a 3-2 lead over the Caps. Final game of the regular season. Washington heading to the postseason on Monday to start their series against the Montreal Canadiens, who were the last team to get into the playoffs with their win yesterday. So Martin St. Louis and the kids are going to the postseason.
What's interesting is that you mentioned that the Washington Capitals just squeaked in that number 8 slot to play the New York Rangers last year, and now they're playing against the team that just squeaks in a year later.
Yeah, again, Capitals the first team since the 70s to be the last team to get in one year, and then the following year be the first team to get in. Capitals can't clear it out of their zone. Here's a one-timer, Poulin. It got blocked. Puustinen picks up the loose puck. Couldn't get a clean handle on it, though. Gets wrapped up into the boards by Ryan Leonard, the rookie, over on the far side as Washington clears it out to the neutral zone, dumped on down by Sandin. 3.5 minutes gone in this third period. Still 3-2 Penguins. Near corner, it's chipped out to Crosby. He has the most recent goal for the Pens. Lifts it up into the air. Bit of a touchdown lead throw over to Brian Rust at the near wall. Got taken off the puck as Washington tried to take it the other way. Gets dumped back into the Capitals zone. Crosby hustled after it, but it was taken away by Alexiev. Now fed out to the neutral zone, stolen by Brian Rust again. Takes it over the Caps line. Trying to make a move around Dubois. Crosby came away with the puck, but then Chychrun took it back. Now Rust has it to Crosby near circle. Backhand pass. They fire it towards the crease, and it goes over the line, but they're calling it a good goal. And it's Ville Koivunen's first NHL goal. A guy that has found the score sheets and joining the NHL roster. He finally lights the lamp for the first time in a Penguin sweat.
And I hope it counts.
Thank you.
I really hope it counts. As Koivunen was down on his side, almost on his backside, and the reaction by the Washington Capitals tells me this one might not count, as Koivunen was kicking and flailing and everything he had. I don't know if he actually got a stick on the puck. That's the problem, Joe, is if he puts this puck in with his shin guard, with his pants.
We have a good goal on the ice. The play is under review.
The play's under review. Or his glove. And that's the thing. That's what I'm worried about, is his left hand, as I'm watching a couple of replays while I'm speaking, the way his left hand nudged the puck forward as it was underneath the blocker hand. Stevenson had dropped his stick. He was trying to pin it in the blue paint with his open blocker hand, and when he was, it sure looked like Koivunen's left hand nudged it from underneath his blocker hand over the goal line. I don't think this one's gonna count. Oh, Billy. Love the effort, though.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I don't think it's going to count either. The only thing working in favor for the Penguins right now is that it was called a good goal on the ice.
No, you're right.
But immediately after it crossed the line, Clay Stevenson was not only barking at the refs, but wiping his hand back and forth using the motion.
Multiple Caps doing that same motion you're mentioning there. And, you know, they're showing Koivunen on the bench right now. He doesn't look real confident this one's going to stick. Yeah, that left hand moving forward, Ville. I don't think it's going to work. You don't want a cheapie like that, do you, Joe?
I've never scored an NHL goal, so I don't think I can answer that question.
No, you're right, but when you're... Oh, here's the call. That was fairly quick.
Upon further review, it was determined that it was put in by the hand of Pittsburgh. Therefore, we have no goal.
It's the right call. Still 3-2.
So both teams getting a goal overturned, one on a challenge. The Penguins still working with a 1-goal lead. Like you said, you like the effort by Ville Koivunen.
Yeah, and how about the effort of Sidney Crosby, too? Yeah. The Sid was the one who was shaking and baking, magic making to get that puck to Koivunen in front of the net. Just some great moves by Sid in the offensive zone.
Penguins back in the Capitals zone, but Dylan Strome takes away a loose puck, feeds Ovi, who snaps it over to Beauvillier in the Penguins zone, breaks through in between the rings, backhand shot wide of the net.
Oh, what a move he put on Connor Timmins. Holy smokes. Little outside, inside. Beauvillier just leaves Timmins in the dust. And then airmailed the back.
Capitals still with it in the Penguins zone. Ricard Raquel breaks up a pass. It goes steered out to Washington's end. Stevenson well out of his net. He'll flip it ahead to the neutral zone. Ovi feeds Strome over the Penguins line. Back to Beauvillier, jumped off his stick as Grzelcyk will carry it out to the neutral zone. Push it ahead to Malkin, a little bit out of his reach. Now he hits the deck as the Penguins get it into the Capitals zone, but not very deep. Washington spits it back out. We got I think just offside of the Penguins.
Yeah, agreed.
Over 5 minutes gone in this third period. Penguins lead the Caps 3-2. Face off above the Capitals penalty box in the near right dot. Lars Eller against Sidney Crosby, a couple of former teammates. Crosby wins that draw, slaps it off the near boards for Karlsson to crank it down into Washington's end. Around the boards, kicked over to the near corner for Sandin, flips it out towards center ice. Pawed down by Karlsson. He'll feed Koivunen, who feeds Crosby into the Cap zone. Over at the near circle, spits it up to Grzelcyk, rips a shot, saved by Stevenson. Right in his breadbasket, keeping it 3-2 Penguins. 5.5 gone in this third period.
Well, every Penguin fan knows in the biggest moments, you look for your best to shine. That's why 3 generations of Pittsburghs have trusted Orr's Jewelers for their biggest moments. Orr's Jewelers, the official jeweler of your Pittsburgh Penguins.
Orr's rocks. Can't believe that's the last time this year.
Believe it.
Ben, can we FaceTime or something come summer?
Negotiable.
I like my odds. 5.5 gone in this third period. Penguins lead the Caps 3-2. Washington dumps it into the Penguins end around the boards to the near half wall for Tomasino, fighting for it at the corner. He feeds it to Ryan Graves. Graves now up ahead on the far side, flips it up ahead to Koponen, speeding into the Cap zone. Tough angle shot side of the net. And now Dewar steals the puck in behind the net, tried to feed Tomasino, missed his stick. Graves keeps it alive at the far point to Tomasino. A nice spin move on Van Riemsdyk. One-timer Graves, redirection won't go. Near corner for Brandon Duhaime, trying to kick the puck free. Now it's taken away by Nick Dowd. He'll hustle it to the neutral zone and into the Penguins end near corner. Dowd still got it, takes it to the slot, then lost it. And now Connor McMichael settles down a chaotic puck to the high slot back to Duhaime. He couldn't connect cleanly. It's Ryan Leonard with it, put a nice move around Ryan Graves, but then lost the puck. Penguins are trying to clear it out of their zone. Loose puck on the near side. Vladislav Kolyachona comes away with it, hustles it out to the neutral zone, and chips it on down to Washington's end. 6.5 minutes gone in this third period. Penguins working with a 3-2 lead over the Caps. Connor Timmins backpedaling in his own zone. We get a whistle blown here.
Penalty on the Penguins.
It's going to be interference. Ricard Raquel is going to go to the box. So the Capitals on the power play when we come back. Penguins lead by 1. 13-14 to go. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Feel the excitement of the UEFA Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC. Europe's best clubs.
What a start for Inter! And Barca are level! Brilliant Arsenal goal!
The world's brightest stars.
Mbappe! Kane! Rafinha!
All chasing club soccer's ultimate prize.
A new page in their glorious history.
The Champions League knockout stage, where legends are made. On Sirius XM FC, channel 157 in the car, and the Sirius XM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
December 15th, Vancouver Canucks were in the playoffs. And this is when they had that big controversy going on. So they had to do something about it. And they did do something about it. Well, now they're not in the playoffs. You know what? They're not even really close anymore. This is the most absurd season falling apart. The most disappointing team this season of the 32 are the Vancouver Canucks.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate, weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Clearly different banking today.
Penguins with a 3-2 lead over the Washington Capitals, but the Caps now back on the power play. 13-14 to go in this one, as the Caps are 1 for 1 in the power play so far tonight. And guess who? Alex Ovechkin scoring that lone power play goal. It was number 897 of his career. And he's out on the ice on the near side of the Penguin zone as Dylan Strome will take the draw against the Penguin, Joona Koppanen. It's Strome winning the draw up to Chychrun in the high slot. Defended well by Koppanen. Loose puck tumbles past the line and out to the neutral zone as Washington has to regroup. Now Pierre-Luc Dubois gains the Penguin zone. Far side for Tom Wilson. Up to the point for Chychrun. Dylan Strome along the boards to the far circle. Chychrun high slot. Fires. Got blocked. Over to the near half wall. Ovi sent it deep down to the far corner. Ryan Shea tries to fling it out. He'll do so. It goes all the way down to Washington's end.
It's really good hustle by Ryan Shea. I didn't know if he was going to get to that loose puck, but he really got his feet moving. Then strong on the stick and got her down 200.
1:20 to go on the Coppers penalty kill. Penguins lead 3-2 over the Caps. We've got 12.5 to play here in Pittsburgh. Dylan Strome picks up the puck at center ice, carries it over the Penguins line, cuts through to the far circle, lost the puck. Danton Heinen's got it. He'll take it the other way, over the Capitals line, above the far circle, towards the slot, now to the near circle, and will curl around to kill off some more time. Carlson and Grzelcyk playing keep it away from Pierre-Luc Dubois. Sent all the way down to Washington's end with less than a minute to go on the Coppers penalty kill. Ovi from the near corner in the Capital zone, chipped it back to Chychrun. Washington having some trouble even getting to center ice. Now Dylan Strome will do so over the Penguins logo. Flings it over to the far side for Mangiapane, who dumps it into the Penguins end. Far corner, Timmins kicked it out, but to Chychrun. He fires, saved by net, rebound on the doorstep to the far side. They couldn't get it to go. And now Connor Dewar will swat it on down to the Capitals end. 25 seconds to go on the Coppers penalty kill. Penguins lead 3-2. Rasmus Sandin, second unit for the Caps, along with Alex Ovechkin out there now. Mangiapane over the Penguins line, drops it down to the far corner. Connor McMichael kicks it over to Ryan Leonard. Around the boards for Ovi at the near point. Fires one towards the net, blocked by Danton Heinen. He's got a shorthanded breakaway in between the rings, forehand. He scores!
What a shot. Fifth shorthanded goal for the Penguins. That's the 7th allowed by the Washington Capitals, and it's a 125-foot breakaway. And boy, does he disguise this shot well. He almost buried his head on purpose, and then he absolutely rips it. Left-hand shot, and he just absolutely wires it over the blocker, under the bar of Stevenson to give the Penguins a 2-goal lead. It's now 4-2.
Capitals unable to convert on the power play. It's the Penguins doing so. Now they're back in the Capital zone. Tomasino drags, shoots, he scores! They just keep on coming. Philip Tomasino makes it a 5-2 lead for the Penguins here in the third.
Wow. Just a quick, fast break by the Penguins. As if Evgeny Malkin gets tied up with one of the Washington Capital defensemen. Gino keeps his feet moving. Why is that important? because he made what was a 2-on-1, maybe a 2-on-2, into a 3-on-1 with the back checker, and Tomasino just curls and drags forever to get into a shooting area and just rips this one over the blocker of Stevenson. And Philip Tomasino has been all over the ice tonight. He gets rewarded. 5-2 Penguins.
And his 11th goal on the season, all of them with the Penguins this year. He was traded from Nashville to Pittsburgh earlier this season. That ties a career high in goals for Tomasino. Penguins yet again have it in the Capitals zone. Here's Carlson walking the blue line, fires, glove saved by Stevenson. 10:30 to go in regulation, and the Penguins pick up a shorthanded goal, and then Philip Tomasino scores just 15 seconds later to make it a 5-2 lead for the Pens.
Oh, good for both those guys, Heinen and Tomasino. They do a lot of the dirty work, and they get chances. But to see that piece of vulcanized rubber tickle that white twine, it's going to feel good in game number 82 for both Heinen and Tomasino. Got an offside here for the Penguins.
I've had a note on my charts of Danton Heinen's block since he rejoined the Penguins this year. Mike Sullivan calling him an opportunistic scorer who can play both on the power play and the penalty kill. He showcased both those opportunities right there on a shorthanded goal.
And the second go-round with the Penguins. You're right, Mike Sullivan has used him all over the lineup. He started the game here tonight on the left wing with Kenny Malkin. He's on the second power play unit. And for Danton Heinen, that's his third career shorthanded goal. He's playing in game number 566 in his career and goal number 96 in his career.
Under 10 to go in the third period. Penguins lead 5-2. There's Ryan Graves, far side of the neutral zone, chips it forward. It's batted out of midair by Taylor Radish, and then crashing into the boards was Connor Dewar. Lost his footing over in Washington's end. The Capitals enter the Penguins zone. And they break things up as Ryan Shea fires it corner to corner over to Connor Timmins. Stamped up ahead to Tomasino. He sweeps it to Koponen. Koponen unloads, saved by Stevenson. Rebound kicks over to the far corner. Washington feeds it up but not out. Now they'll carry it that way. Ethan Frank pushing it ahead into the Penguin zone, hustling to the far circle. Slows down in behind the goal line. Gets thrown down to the ice by Ryan Shea. Franked around the boards to Alexiev at the point. D to D over to the far side. Shot fired. Saved by Ned with the glove. 9:06 to go in regulation. Penguins with a 3-goal lead over the Capitals in their season finale. Here on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hey, it's Hockey Talk time, where teamwork takes the spotlight. In hockey, success begins with a superb lineup, much like our Penguins.
Oh, you got that right, Roger. And speaking of success, Ford's lineup offers a winning combination of power, agility, and leadership.
Ooh, sounds like a dream team to me, Jimmy. With that being said, it's our pleasure to introduce an unbeatable roster. Mustang, F-150, Bronco Sport, and Escape.
Ford, the official car, truck, and SUV of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Hey, Penguins fans, join the party on 5th Avenue and create unforgettable memories all season long with a 2025-26 season membership. Visit PittsburghPenguins.com/memberships to request info. Don't wait. Lock in the best seats, the best prices, and the most exclusive rewards now. Memories are made at PPG Paints Arena. Penguin season presented by UPMC.
From the electricity in PPG Paints Arena to the highlight reel plays, there's nothing quite like Penguins hockey. Be there live to cheer them on as the official ticketing partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Ticketmaster has you covered with the largest selection of seats for any budget. Get off the couch and into the stands. Grab your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com/Penguins.
Danton Heinen shorthanded goal followed by Philip Tomasino's goal 15 seconds later. now has the Penguins ahead of the Capitals 5-2. We've got 9 minutes to play in regulation and the season finale here in Pittsburgh.
Well, the Penguins have been good on home ice, and it continues. I mean, at this point, right, Joe, we're kind of looking for anything of a positive slice, and home ice has been good. You know, the road has been good for the Caps.
Yeah.
There's only one team in the league with more road victories. It's the Winnipeg Jets with 26, as the Caps came in tied with Toronto for the second most road victories with 25, but boy, the Penguins have been good on home ice. 6-2-1 in their last 9 coming into this one here tonight. We got an icing here against the Caps.
The Capitals 25-12-3 on the road this year. Entering this game, that's the highest winning percentage in the NHL.
Hey, are you injured? You need to call the expert personal injury attorneys at Shenderovich, and Fishman. They handle all types of injury cases, and their fee, get this, it's only 25%, not 40% like some other law firms. They're smart, aggressive, experienced, and they have a 99.7% success rate. So that means they win, and there's never a fee unless they win. Shenderovich, and Fishman. 1-888-98 Twins. They've got your back, not your wallet.
8:30 to go on the Penguins season. They lead the Capitals 5-2. As Washington dumps it back into the Penguin zone over to the near corner. It's kicked on out. Valtteri Puustinen hustles it through the neutral zone, takes it over the Capitals line near point, sends it down to the corner out of the reach of Ponomarev, as it's first McElrath to get to it, to the near corner now taken by Washington. Capitals slide it on out towards center ice. Just went past Mangiapane as Matt Grisick will take it back. Erik Karlsson, near side of the neutral zone. Fires it towards the net. Actually got deflected, but an easy pop fly into the goalie, Clay Stevenson, in the crease for the Caps. Under 8 to go in regulation.
No, I don't know about you, Joe, but I kind of feel for Clay Stevenson, because he was really good early on. That allowed the Caps to hang around. And now it's just been a bit of an assault on him. He had the shorthanded breakaway. You had a shot right between the hash marks by Tomasino. And Stevenson's been good, even though there's a crooked number up there. It's a 5-2 Penguins.
Yeah, and I mean, the pressure has been consistent for the Penguins tonight.
Yeah.
He was coming up with some big saves. The Penguins were missing some spots. But then, yeah, recalled on Monday to make his NHL debut tonight. Charlie Lindgren is backing him up. As Logan Thompson's missed the last 6 games with an upper body injury. Brian Rust takes it in the Capital zone. Saucer pass towards the crease looking for Koivunen. He had his first goal, and then it was overturned. Yeah, how about Clay Stevenson being the only left-handed catching goalie on the Washington Capitals roster?
Yeah.
Duhaime gains the Penguins zone, takes it down to the near corner with 7 minutes left in regulation. Penguins lead 5-2. Tipped over to the far corner, sent ahead to the point. Alexiev fires one towards the net. Glove save Ned. He did drop it, but they still blew the whistle. 6:50 left in regulation. Penguins up by 3.
Well, the other goalie they have is Hunter Shepard, who's been great for the Hershey Bears. 29-year-old out of Minnesota. Just played 5 NHL games, and he was up here with the Capitals, but now back in Hershey. Catches left. So yeah, 2 lefties they call them. The catch with the right hand here up in Washington, and then the 2 goalies down in Hershey are normal.
That's what I was going to say. They're the normies. Well, it's been quite a year for the Washington Capitals, who were in the running for the President's Trophy for a good chunk of the season. In fact, the Capitals, again, the first team to clinch a playoff berth, but they've been in first place since New Year's Eve.
Wow.
It's 100 assists or points.
Is that the in the Eastern Conference or the Metropolitan Division? We say first.
I believe the Metro Division, yes.
Oh, the Metro.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the East.
Yeah,
they
you
have
might
had
be
an
right.
Unbelievable season this year. And You know, there's a lot of people that think that Spencer Carberry, their head coach, is going to win the Jack Adams. And I wouldn't be surprised if he does.
How about Spencer Carberry has made it to the postseason every team, but the only year they didn't make the postseason was because of the COVID shortened season. And now back-to-back years with the Washington Capitals.
Impressive.
We've got under 6 to play in regulation. Penguins lead 5-2. Kicked out to the neutral zone as the Penguins reset. Penguins are trying to snap a 3-game losing skid against the Washington Capitals here in this building.
Be surprised if we see Alexander Ovechkin on the ice again with 5:26 left in regulation. The Penguins up 5-2.
Well, he'll get a little breather regardless. We go to another break. Penguins ahead 5-2 with 5:26 to play on the season. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network presented by S&T Bank.
Hear every game of the NBA playoffs on Sirius XM.
He's going to fire up a 3 for the win!
Don't miss a second of the action all the way through the NBA Finals.
Tatum has to force a 3 at the buzzer, and he got it!
And throughout the playoffs, get closer to the storylines that matter on NBA Radio, Channel 86.
There are certain guys that you need to be a part of your roster to win NBA championships.
Listen to home.